So hi everyone.
Good evening. Let's see, Manisha and Morsal, Vincent, Asha, hi you guys.
Hi, Professor. Good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. How you doing?
Good, good. Thank you.
Good.
It's been a long day, but yeah, it's good. It's going.
Excellent. Excellent.
How was your day?
Yeah, it's end of the semester craziness, you know, but it's all good. Vincent
Yeah.
says hi in the chat. Hi, Vincent.
Especially overwhelming when you have to look at so many assignments and stuff.
I know, tests. This is where the only time that I am sad that I don't have any due dates is now. It's like some students are submitting, you know, 5 lessons, 10 lessons, and then no one in this class, honestly. But then it's like, why aren't these graded? And I'm like, we did this 2 months ago. Like, what are you talking about? So it's just
Wow.
it's extra chaos for me at this time, but that's okay. It's all good.
Mhm. So do you teach in the summer too, or do you take the summer off?
I was going to take the summer off, but I am going to work in the lab because next fall, so I think I shared this with some of you guys, but I'm going to take over the coordinator in the lab position. So I got to get trained in the summer and learn my new job and get ready for fall. So lots of new change. So I will be working in June, but then I'll get July. We don't really do anything in July. So there'll be meetings and stuff, but and Marcia saying hi in the chat. Hi, Marcia.
Well, congratulations. Good luck.
Thanks. I'm very excited. So yeah, I'll be in the lab. Everybody should take the lab. Come. We don't talk about grammar in this class, right? We have so much to talk about for reading and writing skills. But if you want to work with me again, if you want to practice specific grammar stuff, come to the lab. Take a unit. Take a half unit. You know.
Sounds like a good idea.
hi everyone.
It's Sadaf's here. Hi, Sadaf and Draga came in. Who else came in? Quinn came in. Hi there. And Marcia said hi. Mursal. Hi, everybody. And happy Eid. I guess we just finished. Did Eid just finish, you guys?
We didn't start it yet, Professor.
Oh, it's today? Is it today?
It was on Monday, but because we are working and classes, we didn't celebrate it.
Oh, so when will you wait? Next weekend?
We are waiting for weekend.
Okay, I see.
Mhm.
Okay, well, like happy real Eid getting ready for weekend Eid, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know about others, but for me and my family, we didn't celebrate it yet. We are just waiting for weekend.
I see. Yeah, yeah. Cool. Well, I hope you're doing well. I know it's final exams or whatever stuff's going on, work and life and family stuff, but I know this is a crunch time, right? There's an American idiom, crunch time, when everything crunches together. You feel like, okay, essays and lessons and exams and all that stuff. But I hope you're all doing well. 34. Okay, wait another minute. While we're waiting, does anybody have any questions right away? Anything I can answer right away? Anything on your mind today? Okay. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how many people show up and then we'll get started in a moment here, but I'm gonna need your guys' questions and ideas today. I want to make this time useful for you, but I don't have anything too specific for us today. So, Isra's here and Lesana's here. Hi, you guys.
Hi, Professor.
Hello. Traga, Professor Travis told me that she got to work with you a little bit. All right. Well, it is 6 minutes after. We'll get started and see if anybody else comes. We've got 10 students. That's less than half, but anyway, I'll start to share my screen here. It's good to see you all. I hope you're all doing well. We're coming in for the landing, right? We're landing this ship here. So, yeah, it is Tuesday, May 3rd. It is week 15. Like I said, we really are getting there. So again, for people who maybe they did celebrate Eid or you're waiting till the weekend, again, I know it's such a special and important time of year, so I wish you nothing but the best time. I hope it was great or will be great. And yeah, that's all. So here's what I've got today. It's not much. I really want to see how you're feeling and what you need. I've got some reminders about the final exam and then just an announcement about the sort of final due dates, lessons, and revised assignments and all that good stuff. And then you see here, I've got student Q&A / workshop because I really want to hear from all of you, right? So if you can type in the chat or speak and tell me, answer questions, that'll be much more interesting and hopefully helpful tonight. But that's what I've got. So just quick, my announcements here at the beginning, especially for people who are watching the recording, maybe you can't be with us tonight. Remember, the information about the final exam, right? So our last Zoom meeting is next week, 1 week from today, Tuesday, May 10th. And at the final exam, I am going to, at the final Zoom meeting, I will give you information about the final exam, answer questions, and then I will open the exam at that time, Tuesday, May 10th. And remember, it is due 48 hours later. So that is Thursday, May 12th, right? That is the scheduled date for when our traditional final test would be if we did that kind of class, right? So just a reminder, I want to keep telling people, give yourself that time. There's no wiggle room, right? It's due at 8:45, Thursday, May 12th. If you don't submit it before then, it's a 0. Again, so please make sure, set aside enough time. You're going to have 48 hours. So just final reminder for that. Okay. And then the last announcement related to grades and points and all that end of the semester stuff is that all work, I think I've said this once or twice, but I want to put it in writing here for you. All work, right? Old lessons, new lessons, resubmitted assignments, your second, third, fourth draft for your narrative essay, whatever, must be due, must be done in Canvas by 11:59 on Monday, May 16th. That's the last day to submit any work for this class. So again, that's the final day that I will accept all work, lessons, revisions, etc. Okay, so that's due dates, grades, final exam stuff, all that good stuff. That's what I've got. Those are the facts. Any questions about those two important dates?
Professor,
Yep.
so I know I promised myself I'm gonna complete lesson 19 and 20 because I'm missing. I didn't complete them. So I have time till May 16. You said, right?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. For the final and for the 2 assignment that I'm missing.
Nope, not for the final. Thank you for that excellent question, Manisha. Remember, the final is due Thursday, May 12th by 8:45. That is because it is the scheduled time for the final exam, right? That schedule comes from the college. So the final is due Thursday, May 12th. Any other lessons, assignments, revisions, other stuff that's just not the final, that's Monday, May 16th.
Okay. Thank you
Yep.
so much. And I'm sorry for
course.
the noise in the background because I'm on my way to Sacramento, San Francisco. So I'm driving.
That's a drive. That's a long drive. Be safe. Be safe.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So you'll hear me just keep saying this next week, right? Next week, all I'm going to do is talk about the final exam, answer your questions, make sure you feel good and all that stuff. But remember, I'll say it again, the final Thursday, May 12th, everything else Monday, May 16th. Any other questions? Cool. So now it's my time to ask you guys a question. How can I help? What do you need? Like like Manisha was saying there, I'm not saying anything about Manisha, but it's still the exact same number of students who submitted lesson 19 and 20, like 7 students. So again, I know stuff's busy and I know people maybe are focused on the academic writing project, but that's due 1 week from today, right? The academic project is due in 1 week. What do you need? How can I help? I don't have any prepared materials for you today because I just wanted to see what you need. And that's what I've got tonight. So hopefully you guys have questions or ideas or something for us to talk about because that's what I got. So what do you need? How can I help? What questions do you have?
Professor, I think actually I'm talking about myself personally. For lesson 19 and 20, I love to like submit them on time most of the time, but this time I know you helped us a lot. You explained like last week and the week before. For me, I don't think I'm having trouble completing it. It just like because of Ramadan and then Eid came, we got super. I know it shouldn't be an excuse. We have to like submit it on
No,
time, but
no.
it just happened, and I'm so sorry for that. I don't want it to be late for submitting those
It's-
assignments.
It's not late, Manisha. There's no due dates. I have the same feeling. I think I said this last week. To me, it just feels like people need to sit down and do it. I don't know if you got that. That's what and that's totally fine. I just, again, you know, my every class that I have with you, and now, again, I'm not speaking just to Manisha. Every class, every Zoom, I want to make it useful and helpful for you all. So I don't know what I feel like you guys know how to do this. It's just doing it. You know what I mean?
I don't know, for some reason, like I think most of us stuck in these two assignments. It is not because we have problem with it. Maybe we then get to complete it. And I think once we sit down and went through like our last two meetings, and I think we should be like good to go to. I mean, it's gonna be easier for us to complete it. I just need to sit down and think about it and complete it and submit it. That's all.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I see your hand, Mursal, please. Mursal.
Yes, Professor. I just wanted to talk about late submit my homework. So I had a very bad and crazy time for this semester. I just sick every day, emergency, urgent care, and doctor. So like manager said, I'm sorry for late submitted, but I will try to finish all. Yes, thank you. But I just remind because there is nothing problem with your teaching. For me, I'm very thankful for you. You're the best. Just I had a problem. I couldn't finish my homework.
Oh, I appreciate you saying that, and please know, I'm not saying this at all, guys. I'm not mad, or it is all good. It's just it's just me saying about how to be the best teacher and the best help for you. So please, I appreciate what Manisha said. I appreciate what Mursal said, but I promise I'm not like, why didn't they do it? I just feel like they just need to do it, you know, like, so
Yeah.
I don't want to just talk for 2 hours and waste your time, right? Because maybe it's better for you to just do it, right? So that's all I'm saying. It's not to make you guys feel bad.
Yes, we know, Professor. We know. I just
Okay.
wanted to say sorry for that.
Oh, please,
So,
no, don't be sorry. Life's, you know, life, there's too much going on in life for you to feel sorry for this class. It's okay. I know how hard everybody's working, and it's all good. It's all good.
thank you.
Or was working, right? I know. And some weeks are hard, some weeks are crazy.
Yeah, thank you, Professor.
Sadaf.
Yes, Professor, I have a question. It's not
Sure.
regarding this semester.
Okay.
It's regarding to the next semester, to the fall
Yes.
semester.
Yes.
I'd like to enroll in 340
Yes.
class with you, but I found two classes. One was, the time was, I believe it was from 12:15 to 2 in the afternoon. Unfortunately, I cannot join to that session. And there was another class. The time was not mentioned. I was curious, I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you please
Yep.
make it clear for me? Because
Yep.
I'm so confused on that.
Yep. I'll do that right now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm just taking some notes and then I'll share my screen again.
Uh-huh.
Okay. First, fall 2022. This just happened yesterday, everybody. So this is brand new news, okay? So I would love to work with all of you again, but big changes in my professional life and my personal life. So in the fall, I am not teaching any lecture classes anymore. You will see my name in the schedule. You will see my name for ESLW 340. ESL 325, you don't need that class, you took this right now. And ESL 315, right? But the current ESL center coordinator has to leave that position. So we had interviews, and yesterday I found out that I got the job. I'm very happy. I'm very excited, especially for people who can come back to campus and do want to work with human beings. You know, that's what we're going to start to do. We're going to have some online classes and some in-person classes in the fall, but the spring, right? 1 year from now, there's going to be even more focus on bringing students back to campus. Now, you guys will be fine. Our higher level classes in ESL, there will probably be a lot of online options, right? But think about those students where maybe you started at 30 or 40 or 50 level. I think most people agree, teachers and students, that it's much better for learning at those low levels to do it in person. So that's why I'm very excited to go back to the lab and focus on working with human beings again. Again, I think it's great, and I see people's questions in the chat. So I'll talk all about, so you cannot take W340 with me, but I can tell you what to do and make a suggestion. So, but I will say, and I'll say this next week, I will only be working in the lab. I will be in the lab 5 days a week. So if you want to work with me, you need to enroll in at least a half unit in the lab. It's very much worth your time, I promise. You can work with me. I can help you with homework for other classes. There's going to be big changes in the lab. So I would love to work with all of you in the lab. Take only a half unit, take 1 unit. You can take up to 2 units, but we're going to have much better services for higher level students. Okay, so that's me. Now I'm going to go and look at what's in Canvas, what are courses, the difference between English Writing 300, ESLW 340, different teachers, different classes, all that. We'll show you that. But for me, just for me, if you want to work with me and I want to work with you, come to the lab, come to the lab. Okay, the ESL Center, right? The ESL Center. Now, what is the difference and what classes should you take after you pass this class? Those are excellent questions. So after this class, you take ESL W340. I need to spell it correctly for it to work. Okay, 16 weight places. Her enrollment is great in that class. Okay, so right now, ESLW 340, we have 2 sections. Chris Fertel is teaching one. This is the one that is fully asynchronous. Asynchronous means no Zoom, ever. Maybe she'll post YouTube videos, maybe she'll post links. You just do the class by yourself on your own time. If you see this word asynchronous, that's what it means. It means no Zoom, okay? You can probably talk to the professor in office hours or one-on-one if you need live support, but asynchronous means no Zoom. Partially synchronous, other classes will show this, is like this class, right? It means 1 day a week, right? It means 1 day a week. Now, I don't know who's going to teach this class. It might be, I really don't know. I don't know who's going to teach it. So if you're thinking about W340, you can sign up for this class, and then you will take that class 1 day a week with another professor. I cannot tell you if they will record Zoom. I cannot tell you if attendance is mandatory. I have no idea, okay? I don't even think our department chair knows who will teach this class yet, because literally I just got this job yesterday. So stuff is changing a lot right now. Okay, so there's a wait list for Chris's class. So even though most people will probably want asynchronous, no Zoom, the class is already full, okay? So you could sort of take a risk and sign up with this class, see if you like the teacher the first day, see if they record the Zoom, whatever, you can decide, okay? Now, I'm going to make my face big to answer the question that's in the chat. And that question was from Marzia, and is, what's the difference between W340 and English Writing 300? Here's the difference. For your transcript, or transferring to Sac State or UC Davis, or if you're doing an ESL certificate, whatever, there is no difference, right? ESL W340 and English Writing 300 are both what is called transfer level English. And in that class, you will read a lot and you will research, find other things that you read on your own. In this class, I don't make you go to the library and find other articles or books about focus, right? I give you everything. I give you the book. We looked at some other articles, and I ask you to just cite only from Hyperfocus, okay? Now, in ESLW 340 and in English Writing 300, you will read a book, and then the teacher will say, okay, here's how to find other books, find other articles, find other sources, and then you connect different things together. That's that synthesis thing that we've been talking about. But instead of synthesizing ideas from only one book, you will synthesize ideas from more than one book, more than one article, right? Now, again, you will do that in both 340 and in 300. So what's the difference? The biggest difference, in my opinion, is if you take an ESL W340 class, you are working with a professor who has a master's degree at least in teaching English to speakers of other languages. So they understand what it's like for multilingual people to do research, to paraphrase, to summarize in a language that's not their first language, right? Your teacher is a specialist in working with multilingual, bilingual people. If you take English Writing 300, that's not really the case. And usually, because you're working with an ESL teacher, you will get more help and explanation for how to do the research. Because in English Writing 300, a lot of students in class with you will be American students who graduated from a high school in the United States. So they already have some practice with this style of reading and this style of writing, right? So things to consider. Now, I also work with students who say, oh, Jeff, I really love the idea. I want to go to a class with Americans. I want to go to a class with other people who went to high school in the US and have that experience, right? And that's great. If that's what you want to do, that's English Writing 300, right? But if you want to be in a class that is much more focused or designed for multilingual, bilingual people from different countries, different cultures, that's where, you know, ESL 340 is great. Now I'm going to say one more thing, and then I'm ready for questions because I'm going to share my screen again. Now, one big benefit, though, one big advantage to English Writing 300 is you see for the fall semester, look how many sections of English Writing 300 there are, right? There are many, 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 many sections to choose from. And in fact, if you notice, look how many of them are also asynchronous. That means no Zoom, no attendance. You don't have to be there on Wednesday at 12:15, right? You don't have to be there at, you know, you're staying with me until 8:30 p.m. a lot of nights, you know. You don't have to do that. So lots of asynchronous English Writing 300 classes. You can see 69 sections. So some are asynchronous, as you can see here, right? Others are, let's see, are they all asynchronous or no? Some are partially online. Some are in person, right? So this is a big difference between English Writing 300 and ESL W340, right? Only 2 sections of W340. Now that said, I know Nu Liang, the professor here, her parents are immigrants, and she has experience working with English language learners. Now, she doesn't have a master's degree in teaching English, so she has a different skill set, but here's an asynchronous class with a professor who I know and respect. And you could say, oh, I work with Jeff, she knows me, and she's got 10 open seats. So it's up to you. It's up to you. But again, there's pro and con. Sadaf says, do we have to take 340 after this class? No, Sadaf. But if you want to go to the next level, your choice is W340 or English 300. If you want a college degree, if you want an associate's degree, if you want a bachelor's degree, if you want to, an associate's from American River or a bachelor's degree for, well, if you want to be a nurse, for example, you need transfer level English no matter what. And that means you have to do W340 or 300. You don't need to do them both. You just need to decide, do you want to do ESL 340 or do you want to do English writing 300? That's the choice. Okay, I see lots of hands. I'm going to start with Morsal. Is it the same hand or do you have a new question?
No, Professor, it's the same. I don't
Perfect.
have any.
I'll lower your hand. Sadaf, new question or same hand?
Same hand, Professor.
Got it. I think I saw Isra's question is
Yes.
new though, I think. Okay,
Yeah.
yes, please tell me.
I'm not sure for this, but I changed. I use it your class for 400. Your name is Jeff.
Yes,
That's
yes.
correct. It's Wednesday.
Yep.
Yeah.
But remember, but I'm not teaching it because my
Oh.
job just changed yesterday. Now I'm going to be the coordinator for the ESL Center. I'm not teaching any lecture classes in the fall.
What should we do? Just wait.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. What should you do? You should choose W340, right? You could take W340, but I don't know who that teacher will be. Or you can take regular, mainstream English with American students and with a non-ESL teacher. That's the choice you've got to make, right? So I don't know in our ESL department who will teach W340. I don't know, but I know it will be a teacher who knows how to work with multilingual, bilingual students, refugee students, immigrant students, right? It will be a professor in our department who knows our students, but what's the downside? I don't know if attendance will be mandatory. I don't know if the Zoom will be recorded, and it is Wednesday once a week. So if you choose English Writing 300, you take the class with Americans, but you see you have 69 choices. You have lots more options about when to take that class. I will also say one thing here. If you're thinking about asynchronous, right? Asynchronous, right, means no Zoom. You do it on your own. That could be a good, but you want to work with me. You could take this class. It's 3 units, excuse me. This is a 3-unit class. And then you could take a unit in the lab with me and we can help you with your English Writing 300 stuff, right? So whether you do a tutoring through the Learning Resource Center, come work with me in the ESL Center lab, right? But you can get extra support if you're worried about taking a regular English class, but you're gonna have much more choices if you take English Writing 300, right? So that's what you've got to do, Isra, is decide, do you want to take 340 and work with an ESL teacher that I don't know who it's going to be. If I find out next week, I'll tell you, but I don't know. Or you could take 300, choose asynchronous, and then take a unit in the lab with me in the ESL Center, come work with me to help you with that homework or whatever, right? So that's what you got to decide. That's the next step, Isra. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, but now change everything because my job starts 12:30. Oh my God, I don't know what should be doing.
So then what you should, if you're worried about work and life, then you should take an asynchronous class. Honestly, and the challenge with that is they won't have once a week. So I think the good thing about this class, the way that I tried to design this class is, you're going to see me once a week. You're going to get to ask questions. That is different in a class that is asynchronous, no live Zoom. you probably have to do the work on your own, right? You have to follow the schedule that the teacher will create for you, but you don't have to be, you know, on the computer at a specific day at a specific time, Isra, you know?
Wait, list another class. I can go because everyone is gone now.
Yeah,
for
you won't,
another
and
class.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys, you will not get into Chris's class, right? Chris Fertel is teaching, she's the one teaching the English, this other section, W340, the asynchronous ESL one, this one, you will not get in because she's teaching 325 right now and she's taking all of her students with her into 340. So don't choose this one and think you will get in. You're not gonna get in.
Which is big different from 300 with the 340 or no? It's big
That's what I was
difference.
saying. The biggest difference is me and Chris, we are trained to work with international, you know, people from different countries with different first languages. Regular mainstream English is not. Now, again, I can give you recommendations for teachers that I know in the English department. Like I said, like New, she's a great teacher. She's a really nice person. Her parents are from, I think her parents are from Southeast Asia. She's the children of immigrants. She understands, right? But again, she doesn't have a master's in teaching English. She has a master's in regular English, you know? So different teachers in the English department, they have different training. ESL department is trained to work with students like you guys. That's the biggest difference. That's the biggest difference. Did that answer your question, Isra?
Yeah, I'm so sad. Thank you
I
so
know.
much. Oh, yeah.
Come see me in the center. I will help you. I can still help you. Take a half a unit, take 1 unit. Come see me, right? Come see me.
Oh, if you take half units, can you help me for my homework or anything?
Yes, yes,
That's okay.
yep,
Thank you
yep,
so much.
yep, yep. That's what we're gonna do in the fall, man. We're making changes. Ultimately, really, I think some students are like, oh, Jeff, now you're not gonna, you know, so many students can't work with you. I kind of feel the opposite. Now I can work with everybody. But anyway, Manisha, you've had your hand up. I saw if you have more questions, let me know, but I want to hear from Manisha and Morsam. Manisha, please.
No, thank you. I need to tell my friends should be
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
Manisha,
Professor,
please.
yes, thank you. Professor, my question is like, I just wanted to know what is different like with the regular English or 340 or 300 and go for regular. What's your suggestion? What is your what do you think about it?
Again, I think the biggest difference is professors have training and are experts at working with people who don't speak English as a first language. Now, again, like the skills that you will practice, I'm going to make myself big again. The skills that you will practice are the same. You're going to do a lot of reading. You're going to use all of the skills that we've learned in this class, right? Summarizing, paraphrasing, synthesizing. You're going to use those skills, but instead of doing it in just one book, like we've been practicing, you're going to do it in 2 or 3 different books. And you're going to say, oh, in this book, he says this, but in this article, she says this. That means blah, 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 right? So you will build on every single skill that you did in this class, you will continue to build on, okay? But again, the difference is in ESL department, even if it's not me, right? Even if it's not me, you have a professor who has training to work with students who don't speak English as a first language. That's different in the regular English department. In the regular English department, you're going to be in a class with Americans, right? Almost all students who graduated from a US high school.
Yes.
And you're going to have a teacher who has a deep understanding of like American literature, right? Or American writing. And that's different than some of the training that I have or the other ESL professors have. Does that make sense?
Exactly. Thank you so much, Professor. And regarding lab, if I don't sign up for like fall or summer, as you know, like I'm working in college, I just want to like just in case if I'm facing any problem. Without signing up for any English classes, can I still work with you in the lab, or no, I have to
No,
sign
that
up
we
and
can't
go in?
do. I'm sorry, Manisha, that we can't do. In order to work in the lab, you have to be enrolled in at least a half unit.
Oh, okay.
Or you
Thank
could go to
you.
the tutor center, right? Because to
Yeah.
get to work with a tutor, you don't have to enroll in a class. You can just get homework help. But
Mhm.
that's different, right? Because that tutor
Yes.
is not going to have experience like we have with ESL students. So if you want to work with me or any of the other people in the lab, you've got to sign up for at least a half unit. And I'll show you that. I'll show you that after we talk about writing 300. And I can give you some, at least 3 teachers, well, at least two English teachers that I've
Okay.
worked with, that I know, and that are what care about our ESL students. And like I said, if you talk to them, you can say, I took this class with Jeff in the ESL department, and at least they know me and I know them, right?
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for answering my next question. You already said that you're gonna show us how to like sign in for a half unit. Thank you.
Yes, I'll show you. I'll show you that right after Mursal, your question.
Yes, Professor. If I take the ESL 300, and I should take 340 for my bachelor or degree, or
You
just
you do not need to take both. You only need to take one. And for your bachelor's degree, both count the same. Both are the same. So if you take 340, you do not need 300. Okay?
okay.
Yeah, save your time and money. You only need one. You only need one.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. What else? Who else? Sadaf.
Yes, Professor. If we take like English 300 or 340, as you mentioned before, these two is like the same, but in every college, consumer college, the number of the classes is different. Now I'm confused again because I completed the other classes at CRC college. I didn't have any chance to find a class at CRC college for this semester. That's why I joined to the ARC college. And the number is different. Now I'm confused. If I find any class at CRC, it should be 300, or maybe the number is different.
It should be 300. Let me see. CRC Los Rios transfer English. This is changing. In the next like 2 years, the state of California is saying they must be the same number. Let me see. Creative writing, no. So this is CRC, right? Yes, it is. Okay. Don't want 400. Wait, let's see. That's English literature. That's English creative writing. We want ENGWR. Forgive me if I talk to myself out loud here. It is. It should be. This is it. So it should be the exact, for regular English setup, it should be the exact same thing. ENGWR 300, college composition, and that's it, right? Transfer level English, transferable CSU UC. This should be the exact same thing at ARC, okay? So if you're going back to CRC, look for English writing ENGWR 300. But I will say, I don't know any teachers at CRC, so I cannot give you a good recommendation for a teacher, but I can tell you the number is the same.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Professor.
You got it. Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you for asking that question too.
Lucia, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah. But I know maybe I don't know if you can have an answer of my question, but if I took people took the class of college, no, university transferable level. He doesn't need to take the TOEFL test before being enrolling in the
Someone
college.
else asked me this question last week, and it's such a good question. And I don't think, because if you get transfer level, that's such a good question. It's such a good question. I
Because,
don't think so, though, because if you
yeah,
pass transfer level English, why should you have to take the TOEFL?
okay. Because I already, they asked me to take the TOEFL.
Who
And I
did?
took
Sac
it,
State?
Sac State. I took it, I pay a free, 235 and a book for an example of test, but I failed it because they need a score of 80.
Yeah.
And I got
TOEFL, and
yeah.
TOEFL's so hard, right? It's so
Yeah,
long,
it's so
it's so
hard
hard.
because you have free text with 10 questions.
Yep.
And you have to do it in 54 minutes. Read and answer the question. You don't have nothing to take a note. Like you read the test, you got the main idea, you have to write it down and continue to read. And after answer to the question, nothing, you got nothing to do.
Yep.
Out the listening, you will stay there. The video is maybe 10 minutes, 10,
I know.
45 seconds. After that, they give you 45 seconds to answer the question.
I know.
It's very difficult.
It's
But
crazy.
for example, me, I'm going to teach, to learn in business.
Yep.
I know in business is important to have a good English skill, but for me, the English is not too important for the business student. Just you have to read to understand what they ask you, but you can do it. Right
I
now,
agree.
I have everything is okay, but now they are just waiting for the TOEFL test score.
I will find out. I promise I will find out before class next week so that I can tell you 100% for sure. But this is the Sac State website, right? This is from Sac State. And it says, foreign students include those who hold U.S. temporary visas as students, exchange visitors, or other non-immigrant classifications. That's not you guys. If you're enrolled at ARC, you're here on some kind of visa, right? Maybe a green card, maybe you're already citizens, right? So that's one thing. No matter what, you guys are not foreign students when you apply to Sac State. That's number one. Fact number two, if you notice, says those who have graduated from an accredited high school or four-year U.S. college or university where English is the primary language need not submit an English proficiency test. So definitely if you get an associate's degree, but almost, for me, almost certainly, if you pass transfer level English at a U.S. college, you should not need these TOEFL tests or the IELTS or any of these other big English tests. I will find out the answer for sure, Lasana, but those, to me, those instructions make it clear that after you pass transfer level English, you do not need that at Sac State. And it's definitely if you get an associate's degree before you go to Sac State.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So thank you for that excellent question. Yeah, that's a big one because yeah, you should be. If you guys, maybe you already have a degree from home, right? And you're already thinking about US university, absolutely. This is the class to start thinking about it. So it's a great, important question.
Okay.
Did that help a little bit, Leslie?
Yeah, it's hard. I know what I have to do. Maybe I will go to a counseling center and try to see if they can make an evaluation of my degree from our country,
From home.
from home, add to the ESL classes I already take, and if it can give me an associate degree to go to the university now.
Yep. And no matter what, so no matter what though, take ENGWR 300 or ESLW 340. Once you've got that transfer level class, because that is a very important class. So make sure you take that. And then after you've got that, definitely that's the right time to ask. Once you've passed that class, you're in a very, that's an important, that's an important step before university.
Okay, no problem.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Sadaf.
Excuse me, Professor, that was the previous one.
Ah, okay.
Sorry about that.
No, my gosh, no problem. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again. Other questions. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go back. So I'll put this in the slide even. No, I'm sorry. Let me make this more clear. Fall 2022, English Writing 300. In this slide, you guys, what I will do is make a suggestion for sections you can take of the class, right? Teachers that I recommend you work with. Again, I've only been at ARC 3 years, and most of it has been in the pandemic. So I'm still learning people, but there are some people that I can definitely recommend. So for example, like I said, these first 3 classes are with a professor named Nu Liang and completely asynchronous. So for people who are working, for people who do not want to be online at a specific day or time, that might be a good option. Now, again, that means you kind of don't, it's not like this where you don't get to see her once a week, you know? So that's a little bit of good, a little bit of bad, but at least, you know, I know her. You can say that you worked with me and she knows who I am, right? So I'll put these, there's at least one other teacher I can include too. And she's teaching three asynchronous sections of this class. So any of these would work, right? And like I said, her parents are from Southeast Asia, but she's a native English speaker. She's born in the United States. She's trained, you know, she's very good, nice human being. And I saw Professor Barnard as well. She's the other teacher who I know. And knows me. And I'm only going to put the classes that have openings, okay? Dawn, I don't know. Christian, I don't know. Michael, I don't know. Here she is. Yep. That's Professor Barnard, Gina Barnard. I know her. She is a very nice woman and a good teacher. Oops. Another thing, like I'm thinking out loud now, for my students who like to work together, you could take, you know, a group of 4 or 5 or 6 of you could all take the same class and then just, you know, tell new, and it's spelled N-E-U-E, but it sounds like new, you know, New Year's. So New or Gina, you can say, hey, we worked with Jeff. He told us to take your class. You can kind of stick together, right? And help each other. That could be another really good thing to do. Here's another asynchronous from Professor Barnard. I think most people in this class like online, right? I mean, does anybody want to go back to campus, or? I'm giving all recommendations for asynchronous since a lot of people had questions about work and stuff like that.
I'm planning to take classes in person.
Nice. I'll
Did
check.
you-
I'll see if there's a person that I know who is teaching in person, Liz. Another async. That might be it for now. Then we got a lot of TBA, to be announced, to be announced. Oh, Caroline is great too. Oh, that's Southeast Asian. Well, I'll put her down too, just in case. So these would be my recommendations, you guys. For people who want fully online, no attendance required, these are my recommendations.
But what do you think, Professor, in the real life, it's a good idea for ESL students to take this class without meetings?
I give that's what I was saying, Liz. I mean, like, again, there's good and bad in all things. The good thing here is convenience and work schedule and all that stuff. But I mean, I'm going back on campus, you know. I mean, I applied to be the coordinator of the center for a reason. I like teaching on face-to-face. Again, I know online is really convenient, but I mean, my master's degree, I did it nights and weekends. Like, I know it's hard. And it's not the same for people who have kids at home. It's totally different. I know that, but I like face to face. But online is great for people who need, you know, if you can't take a class any other way, I think there's a great reason that online, especially for high level learners, will stick around. But you're right. I mean, it's up to you. It's not like this class, right? There's not Jeff saying, how are you? How are you feeling? How can I help? You know, it's kind of like, it's you and Canvas. You know what I mean? It's just you and Canvas. So it is different. It's definitely different, Liz. It's definitely different.
Thanks.
But again, I think this taking a synchronous class, I'm sharing my screen now. So this is what I was filling out, what I was doing there as I was looking at stuff is, this will be in Canvas for you guys, right? Am I sharing? Okay. Can you guys see my screen right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, perfect. Manisha's got to go. Perfect. Okay, good. Sadaf is asking how she can find the classes. I think I'm sharing it now, right? So this is the class list. Oh, and then if you're looking for where to find this class list that I'm looking at here, I'll put the link in the chat. But this is just the ARC class schedule, right? Academics search class schedules. And then I just typed in the class title, ENGWR 300, but I'll put the link in the chat too.
Excuse me, Professor, for the
Yeah.
CRC college, this will be the same, the searching class?
No, it'll be on the CRC website. CRC, here it will be. It looks very similar, but you got to make sure you use this link. Set up.
Okay.
But it'll be exactly the same, right? When I type ENGWR 300, '74 classes. So it's the same. You see, it's the same. I just don't know any teachers there. So, but let's see, in person, in person, in person, in person, in person. See, again, all the schools are doing this so different, you guys. There's like no asynchronous. Wow. It's going to be a big experiment, you guys. Oh, here's some asynchronous. Yeah, it's going to be a big experiment trying to bring people back after COVID. So we'll see what happens. So there are async options there too for you, Sadaf, if that's what you're looking for. Just make sure you look for fully online, and there's that word, asynchronous. Asynchronous.
Okay. Thank you, Professor.
My pleasure. Okay, so this is my list of suggestions. If you want an online English writing 300 class with no required attendance, here are the classes I recommend. And these are the 3 teachers who I really, really like. What did I want to show you next? The lab. So I think Manisha was asking, a few people were saying, okay, so now let's say I don't get to work with you, and that is sad, but in W340, but one big dream, one big reason that I want to be the coordinator in the center is to support our high level students who need basically like ESL tutoring, but not at the low levels, right? So I'll show you what that looks like here. And for all of you guys, let's see. How did they show this now? We just changed the codes here. Hold on. There it is. Okay, so here's the deal. Maybe you know this, maybe you do not know this. When it says instructor here in the lab, you guys, that does not matter. That doesn't mean, oh, you're going to work with Mim, or let's find my name. Oh, I'm not in here yet because we just changed this. Let's say, but whatever. Maybe you took a class with Professor Folly, or you took a class with Professor Travis, 315, maybe, right? So when you sign up for Lab 61, Margaret Travis, that doesn't mean you only work with Margaret Travis, right? So the section that you sign up for, it does not matter. Different teachers work at different times of the day, okay? So if people want to take the lab, and I hope you will think about it, to support you in your work in ESL W340 or in English Writing 300, the 2 best sections for you to take will be ESL Lab 70 or ESL Lab 80, right? Because if we look at the descriptions, as it says here, right, this lab offers students practice in reading, formatting and mechanics, writing, and grammar skills, right? And 380, we do the same thing, reading, formatting mechanics, grammar and writing at the advanced skills level, right? And as it says here, and it says, this course is most beneficial when taken with ESL W340 or 350. And students can take up to 2 units online. The more units you take, the more time and sort of practice that you have in the lab, right? So again, if you're thinking, okay, I want to take, maybe I want an asynchronous class. I want to be able to take my class anytime, but I also want to work with an ESL teacher. I think the best thing to do is take English Writing 300 with one of these teachers, and then sign up start with a half unit in the lab for Lab 80, right? Or Lab 70, either one. And if you need the units, right? If you need the units for financial aid, maybe you only need 6 units, then you can take 1 unit or 1.5 units. Again, a great thing about the lab is flexibility, right? So you could take the 3-unit ESL W340 class, and then if you need 1 unit or 2 unit, whatever you need, you can adjust it to whatever is best for you, right? So that's my suggestion. Or if you just want to work with an ESL professor and you can go to Zoom on Wednesdays, take W340. I don't know who the teacher will be, but you could just do that if you do want to do Zoom. Questions? And then I'm going to copy and make a note here.
Sorry, because I'm not sure if you already tell this. In lab classes are in it's like a class for like
No.
or tutoring class.
Well,
I cannot understand.
Yeah, it's kind of whatever we want it to be. There's speaking and there's work in computer, there's work that you can do on the computer. We're going to have work in person, face to face and online. So you can come to campus and take the lab and work with ESL professors and tutors. You can take it online and get support, but it's basically like you do reading and writing practice on your own. Then you ask a tutor for help if you have questions, or a tutor or a professor will check your work. Or there's going to be these speaking sessions and basically like skills workshops where the professors will give a topic or a presentation about MLA formatting, right? Or using sources or paraphrasing or something. And then I think the other thing that will be new in the fall we're going to try is some kind of homework support or homework help, right? So if you have an assignment for 325 or 340 or your English writing 300, you can come to that workshop, right? Homework workshop, and come get help from an ESL professor. So that's another good thing about the center and the lab, right? Lots and lots of flexibility to help you focus on the skills that are most important to you.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
And it's, do you know if this kind of class, the labs, are going to be offered in summer or only fall?
They will be, and I'll be there in the summer as well. Yeah, we
Okay.
enrollment for the summer is open now. Absolutely, absolutely. Again, if you're thinking about async, that's my suggestion here, right? That's my suggestion, and I'll just make it, even another color to make it stick out here. That way you can get your transfer level English. You can work with me or you can work with another ESL professor and get support that you need for your transfer level English class. Other questions? In the summer, it's exactly the same, Liz.
Sorry. The question is, what's the difference if we take like a half of unit or a unit complete? Is like the equal to the time that we spend in the lab?
Yeah, some of it has to do with time and some of it is just how much work, just how much work you need to do. I mean, and sometimes that's in hours, sometimes that's in the number of lessons you do. So it just changes, But just think about it like how much work you need to do. I always just say to students, like, start with a half a unit. And if you want to do more, we can add more, right? You can add more 8 weeks into the semester, 10 weeks. If you, we can always add more. But yeah, it's the same thing in the summer. I was trying to see if this is still all the fall, August 20th. In the summer, the lab starts on the 6th. On the Sunday, it starts on the 6th. It's 4 days a week, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But again, you can come any day, any time. It's just that's when the work will start. Monday, June 6th is when the lab starts. Has anyone worked in a lab or the center and had an experience there? Can anyone share about their experience a little bit?
No, I never have it there.
I think Didier does, and Draga does. Draga's a little high level, but if anybody wants to, you can. Cool. Other questions? Doesn't have to be about the fall. Any questions about the academic writing project, about anything for this class?
I have a question, because if we have taken a class, for example, speaking class, and we didn't learn enough, can we go like to the same class with another professor
Yeah.
if we
no,
pass the class?
You're not supposed to. No, the teacher's
Oh.
supposed to stop you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Good question. Draga and I were talking about that at the beginning of the semester too. Any other questions? Because that's all I got. If you guys don't have any questions about the fall, about the academic writing project, about that, then I'd say use this time, take care of yourself. But if you haven't started or you need time to work on your homework, give yourself an hour, right? Use this time to your benefit, you know. But I don't have anything else to just lecture about. I will stay and answer questions, but if not, then I don't have anything else for tonight.
Hey, Professor, one question real quick. So does that mean we can enroll in any one of the 4 colleges from the Los Rios group, or our main one is American River College?
Does anybody know the answer to that? I think you need to do a separate, Sadaf, since you are, can you tell us that, Sadaf? You took classes at CRC and then at ARC. Did you have to do something different to start classes here?
No, Professor, just I searched for the class, and
Yep.
I discussed with my previous professor, and
Yep.
she suggested me to take this class instead of 1:30. She suggested me to take 3:25 at ARC. There is no difference.
Good. Well, I'm glad she did. I'm glad you got to be in this class.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you could choose any class, just you know, and when you're searching in e-services, you can search by campus or location, you know, so you should be good to go, Asha.
Professor, the difference or the problem is that if you have FAFSA, the scholarship, and if you have a work study, you must have at least 6 units in your home
Yes.
college.
Yes, this is important. If you get financial aid or work study, you need to make sure that on your FAFSA you include that the new school, right? I just had a student with, excuse me, the same thing, right? They were taking classes at Folsom Lake and they were bringing everything to ARC. So they had to submit a new FAFSA with ARC school code, right? To make sure that the ARC financial aid office gets that FAFSA. And then there's different college will have a different rule, but you might have to have a form or a document or something to say, okay, now ARC is my home campus or whatever. Exactly. Yes, that's correct, Liz. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Anybody else? People are saying goodbye in the chat. That's awesome. That's and you goodbye. For the academic writing in every section, we need to quote or cite. Marcy is saying for the academic writing project, do we need to quote or cite? I don't think you need to quote in every section, but you need to cite, right? You need to give me a page number because each of those sections is about an idea from the book, not your own original idea, even the response section. So you don't need a quote in every section, but you do need to cite in every section. Make sense? Cool. Anybody else?
Yes, Professor.
Yeah.
Can I make an appointment with you for your office hour? I sent you an message today, but maybe you didn't have the opportunity to review it. Could you please give me some time or date that we can speak?
Yeah, if we're going to end the class right now, Didia, we can talk after everybody leaves.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you don't have to if you want to go too.
No, the thing is that I am sorry, I am working today. For that reason, I am a little bit in the class. Well, I arrived late and everything, but
Got it.
I almost finished.